If you can't quite figure out who's in charge in the house, is it you? Is it the kids? Is it somebody else? And this tapping session is for you. So, welcome to Don't Make Me Tap Again. I am your host, Angie Grant, EFT practitioner. And here in this podcast, I show you how to use EFT tapping or the emotional freedom technique, or some people just call it tapping, as a tool to have in your tool belt to release some anxiety, to reduce some stress, to help your body relax a little bit. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like life is kind of stressful right now. So, in today's episode, I want to talk about the current energy that we're in. So, in addition to being an EFT practitioner, I'm also a human design specialist, in particular, a quantum human design specialist. And through the lens of human design, we collectively go through a new energy about every 6 days. So, we're currently in the energy of gate 7. So, through traditional human design, gate 7 is the gate of the leader. Through quantum human design, we call it the gate of collaboration. And as I was listening and reading and studying up on this gate to prepare for this episode for you and really reflecting on how I have embodied this energy, it actually isn't part of my design, but that we all have all of the pieces of human design in us. Just some of them are part of our lesson planners and some are not. But I have experienced this in people that are in my life, people that I've come into contact with, and just this energy can be really powerful. So here's the scoop with gate 7. Like I said, it's the gate of the leader, but being the leader doesn't mean being in charge. And as a parent coach, I find that this is kind of a big struggle for a lot of parents, right? We want to manage our kids. We want to keep them in line. We want to make sure they follow the rules. We feel this pressure, this need. It's actually a survival based instinct for us to control our kids. And of course, we're all on a different level of that, right? Like some parents that let their kids run the show, and other parents are very much in charge or trying to be in charge, and everywhere in between. But here's what I know about what our kids need from us right now, and maybe we have for a while, right? Is that our kids don't need to be controlled. They need to be empowered. And I love that this energy teaches us a little bit about that. What do I mean by that? Well, this energy helps us tap into when we're in a higher frequency. It helps us tap in to perhaps seeing that it isn't our job to control anybody. And sometimes we have much more influence when we help empower others. And this is true whether you're an employee at a job and you're helping to influence your boss. This is true when you are a parent in a home with kids that you're trying to help raise, right? When we influence them to be empowered to make their own decisions, the decisions that they make will be much more aligned with who they are. And they're going to have better buy-in. They're going to be more able, more willing, more happy when they're doing things that feel right to them, not when they do things that feel right to you, that make you happy. Because it's how we all are. Nobody wants to be controlled. Nobody wants to be told what to do or how to do it. The same is true for our kids. And I think that more and more now, we as a society are realizing how much empowerment our kids really need if we want to help them avoid getting stuck in questioning who they are when they're adults. Because I think that's where so many adults are now, is not really sure who they are because they've been told their whole life to do things to make other people happy. So, enough talking. I want to tap on this energy because I find it to be so present in my home, in my community, with the families that I serve in my coaching practice. So with EFT, this is not a replacement for any type of medical or mental health care, but is instead a relaxation tool to perhaps help you release some stress that your body's been holding on to. Because when we're trying so hard to control our family, control our kids, it causes stress in us. So we're going to use EFT tapping. I encourage you to follow along with the tapping and the words. With EFT, we usually start with the negative because it's honestly, it's what we're thinking. It's what we're believing. It's what our body is holding on to. We want affirmations, but our body is telling a different story. So when you're ready, start tapping on the side of your hand and repeat after me. even though the kids won't listen to me, and I'm trying so hard to get them in line and nothing's working. I deeply and completely accept how I feel about that, even though I feel like I've lost control in my own home. And sometimes it makes me yell or scream or lose my cool. Except that that's where I am today, even though it's so stressful when the kids don't listen. I know that right now I can breathe deep and relax. All right, then we're going to move on to the top of our head, feeling stressed inside the eyebrow, feeling out of control on the side of the temple. And you can do both sides with these points or one or the other. It really is whatever feels best for you. Losing my cool. And then under the eye, feel like I don't have any control in my home. Under the nose, so stressed out. On the chin, I don't have any control. On the collarbone, the kids won't listen to me. Under the arm, nothing I'm doing is working. All right, we're going to keep going. And this time we're going to um, use some questions to get your mind just thinking of other possibilities, some expansion questions. So, what if the kids need more empowerment and less control? What if sometimes saying nothing is the most influential thing I could do? What if what looks like defiance is really my kids trying to assert that they have other ideas too? What if what feels like a lack of control to me is really me not knowing how to empower? What if I didn't feel empowered when I was little? And so I don't know how to do it for my kids. What if it's easier than I think? What if I could do more listening and less telling? Would that feel empowering? All right, then we're going to go through one more round of tapping. And this time we're going to tap in some affirmations. So I can empower my kids because right now I'm empowering myself. When I'm regulated, I can be better at listening to my kids. And I could trust that they know more than maybe it seems like. I can empower my kids. And it feels good when I think about that. And I can let go of some of that control and stress. I've got this. All right, tapping, take a nice breath. So I oftentimes forget this, but with tapping, it is helpful before we go through a tapping sequence to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being totally at peace and 10 being totally stressed out. I forgot to do that before we started, but of course you can think back to how you were feeling about control and empowerment before we started and check in with yourself again. Are you feeling that same tension or stress in your body? Maybe things have shifted a little bit. I don't know. But here's what I do know. I know that EFT really can help to relax our body, to let go of some stress. Sometimes in this first couple of sequences, we don't quite get there, and that's okay. It isn't about a quick fix. It's about doing things to help regulate our nervous system. So if you're looking for more personalized support, that's exactly what I have to do. I love working with people one-on-one to help you create the peace that you need, the peace that you want in your body and in your life, and especially in your parenting relationship. So, if you're interested in a one-on-one session, check out my link below. Of course, I have some other resources there as well. So, until next time, put this one on repeat. Just keep noticing if you feel more peace in your body too.